Hey everyone, welcome back to another GeekJ video where we make tech, tutorials and gaming simpler and better. Today we're diving into the world of Cyberpunk 2077 modding, but with a tool that's gonna make your life so much easier, Mod Organizer 2. So let's check together how amazing this game looks with mods. Look at this. That looks amazing. Right? Look at that. And yes, we have ray tracing on, and some parts of path tracing are also turned on. And we are running at about 100 FPS with frame generation. So if we go into the Ultra Plus, you'll see that right now at this specific scene, their real FPS are 43, 44. So if we double that, we get around 88 to 90 FPS, depending on where we're looking at and how many light sources there are. And we are basically using XeSS in quality mode. So you can see here, it says DirectX 12 XeSS 2. And it does say DLSS state is off, which is the frame generation, but I am using lossless scaling for a better result in frame generation, as the existing mods for the game currently produce a very subpar result, and it creates a lot of noise around models when you move the camera, and also a lot of ghosting. But right now, I don't even need to use the anti-ghosting mod that I was using, as lossless scaling doesn't produce any ghosting whatsoever, and the result is a lot better. I'm currently recording at the same time, so we might see some stutters here and there, but during normal gameplay or even when I'm streaming, it's a lot lighter on my system, as I don't stream at 35k bitrate. I only stream at 7.2k bitrate, so that's a huge difference on system resources. But even still, we do produce 80 to 90 FPS. Otherwise, it's a more stable experience at around 100 FPS in general. It will change from location to location. But yeah, as you can see, there's practically zero ghosting, and there is no ugly noise around the models and stuff. And the best part about this, I'm gonna show you right now. If we open up our Steam, right click, manage, and then browse local files, the game files are completely vanilla, like nothing has ever been touched. Look at this. You go into the bin folder. The only things you're gonna find here are my own changes to inject the newer XeSS and FSR stuff, but otherwise there's nothing here. There's no mods folder, like there's nothing in there. You go into R6 config, there's practically nothing here. Everything is vanilla. There's nothing extra installed over here. And how are we doing this magic thing? So let me exit out of this. We're gonna exit out of our game. We're able to achieve this because of this Mod Organizer 2. This magical tool that's gonna make your life so much easier. And in this guide, we're not gonna go through the whole of my mod list, but I am going to show you how to actually install Mod Organizer 2 in a portable instance for any game you want. Even if you want a different instance for the same game, you can actually use Mod Organizer 2 for that, and it's gonna leave your game files untouched. So if you want to run your game in a vanilla state, you can. And I'm going to show you how to install Mod Organizer 2 itself, and then some of the basic mods, and basically just showcase how to easily install mods in this game in various categories. So, for example, Mod Resource is very different than visual and graphics, where you kind of want to pay attention to what overwrites what, if something overwrites something. So yeah, let's get to it. We need to download Mod Organizer 2, and I will have a link in the description below for you to follow, that it will lead to Nexus mods right here. But instead of going into files as you would usually do in Nexus mods and downloading the version they have over here, which is the 2.5.2 version, I would suggest you go into the description and scroll a bit downwards, and where it says help wanted, just click on the spoiler show button, and I would urge you to join their Discord. And on their Discord you will be able to find the latest development version, which is 2.5.3 Dev 2 version, and it has a lot of updates that are basically important for a lot of games, not only Cyberpunk 2077. So yeah, this is my strong recommendation. If you want to use 2.5.2, feel free to do so, but in this guide we're going to be using the 2.5.3 Dev 2 version. So after you've downloaded the file, you will be greeted by this 7Z archive, and if you're on Windows 11, you don't need to do anything else, as RAR and 7Z support has been added into the system. But if you are in a previous version of Windows, you can just download the 7Z open source tool. I will have a link in the description below. It's completely free, and it's a lot better than a lot of the paid software that are out there. So anyway, if we double click on this, you will see the contents of this folder. So what I usually do is I just right click on this, I go into the 7-zip submenu, and then I extract to, and it will create this folder with the same name as the archive. And in here you will see we have all the files and subfolders of Mod Organizer 2 2.5.3 Dev 2 version. So I'm gonna double click on modorganizer.exe, and we're going to be greeted by another menu, and it says creating a new instance. So why create a portable instance? Basically it keeps Mod Organizer 2 self-contained, and we will be able to avoid any conflicts with system files. So let's click next on this one. We're gonna create the portable instance. We're gonna say Cyberpunk 2077. I'm gonna leave all the settings at default. I'm gonna click next, and it's gonna ask us where do we want this Cyberpunk 2077 virtual folder to be located, and we can just say the current location. It doesn't really change anything. So we're confirming our selected options, and then we're going to click finish. So you're starting Mod Organizer for the first time is what it's telling us, and asking us if we want to follow a tutorial. I've been using Mod Organizer 2 for a long time, so I don't need to see the tutorial, but if you haven't used this tool ever before, it's a good starting point if you want to follow the tutorial first, and then unpause the video and we can continue on together. I'm going to just press no. Do you know how to mod this game? Do you need to learn? Blah, blah, blah. Click OK. It's going to give you a little website giving you more information that you might need some stuff. This is not needed anymore, by the way, because the game plugins they're using have been updated. Then I'm going to click on Import Nexus Categories, and we will be greeted with this. I'm sorry, I know your eyes, they're hurting. So what I am going to do is click on this screwdriver and options menu. I'm going to go into theme, and we're going to go, for example, into the Dracula mode. And it looks like this. So I'm going to maximize this window. And as you can see here, these are the vanilla files of the game, but they are represented in this virtualized folder. So before we continue, now that we've opened up Mod Organizer 2 once, what we are going to do is exit out of this. So the next step is to download the latest game plugin for Cyberpunk 2077. And I will have, again, a link in the description below. You know, where you find everything every time. So if you click on the link I provided, you will be greeted by this. It might be a little bit confusing. You can click on this little icon over here which says download raw file. I'm going to click on this and we will download this onto our desktop. Click save and we're going to exit out of this. So where does this little file go? We're going to go into the plugins folder, basic_games, games, and you can see here it says game_cyberpunk 2077.py, which is exactly the same name as this one. So we're gonna just drag and drop this in here and we're going to overwrite and replace. And now we have the latest Cyberpunk 2077.py, which is the game plugin for Mod Organizer 2. So after we've done this, we can go back into the main folder. And what I like to do after I create a new instance and go through all these steps, I right click and then drag and drop the exe file onto my desktop, and then I click on the create shortcuts here. And I usually rename it to something representative. So I'm going to go with MO2 CP 2077. And I'm going to go with open brackets, call it test, close brackets, and enter. So we don't need to have this folder over here open anymore. And we can just double click on this. And as you can see, we're in a clean instance of Cyberpunk 2077. Mind you, my other instance of Cyberpunk 2077 still exists with all of my mods here. And that's the beauty of it having everything in virtualized folder. And now for the fun part. Let's install a mod together. So I'll walk you through the process and explain the different options. And I also want to explain that in Cyberpunk 2077, as in other games as well, there are some specific modder resource mods or libraries that all the other mods are going to be using. So we probably need to download those required mods, and then we can continue on downloading other mods that require, you know, those libraries or modder resources. So let's go on ahead and open up Nexus Mods. And as you can see here, I've selected the mods section and I have sorted by the most downloads. And the most downloaded mods, as you can see, are those modder resources, those libraries that all the other mods are going to be asking for. So what we're going to do is actually download these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mods and install them into our new Cyberpunk 2077 instance. So I'm gonna middle click on this one. It's gonna open up in a new window. I'm just gonna go into the files folder. You can go, and I suggest you go through the description because usually it has a lot of important information on the requirements of the mod you want to install and stuff like that, but libraries usually do not have a requirement for other libraries. So as you can see here, the Cyber Engine tweaks that practically every mod for Cyberpunk 2077 in existence uses. It says here this mod does not have any known dependencies other than the base game. So we're gonna go into the files section and we can click on Mod Manager Download or Manual Download. So if you have a Nexus account which you will need to download anything, you can just log in through your Mod Organizer 2 installation with your credentials, and then you will be able to download every mod through Mod Organizer 2. You can also download them manually and keep them in another folder if you want. So I'm just gonna use the typical way, and as you can see here, through the tabs on the right side, we can see that this has been downloaded, and it's our Cyber Engine Tweaks 1.35.0 for patch 221, which is the latest patch for the game. I'm gonna double click on this and we're gonna go into the manual method. You don't need to read the tutorial, just exit out of this. And because this version of Mod Organizer 2 and the latest version that we just copied over of the Cyberpunk 2077 game plugin are present, we don't really need to do anything else. We just need to click OK. And basically, you will see here that Cyberpunk Engine Tweaks, it's present, and it created by itself a Disable Crash Reporter MO2 fix that is coming after the actual Cyber Engine Tweaks. So that means it will take precedence over the Cyber Engine Tweaks mod itself. So let's go download another one of these. So I'm gonna exit out of this. We're gonna click on the Red 4 EXT, click on this one, go to Files, and do exactly the same thing. It's gonna tell us that the download has started. It's present, so we're gonna do exactly the same thing, and I would suggest you always click on the manual installation and pay attention to the naming, because sometimes if there are a lot of different versions, you want to pay attention to that. This is fine, and you can see here in green letters that it says the content of Cyberpunk 2077 looks valid. This is what we're looking for, so I'm just gonna click OK, and then I'm going to enable this mod by ticking on the box over here. So now that it's ticked, it means it's enabled. So let's go back over here. We need a red script as well. We're gonna do exactly the same thing. Mod Manager Download. You can see here it appears in my downloads. Click on manual. Everything seems to be fine. The name red script is also fine. I'm gonna click OK and enable this, and exit out of this one. Archive XL. We're gonna do exactly the same thing, and gonna click on Mod Manager. It says here that there are requirements, which is Red 4 EXT. We already have that if you're following this guide step by step. So I'm just gonna click download, and you can see here it says download started, and we have the Archive XL. I'm gonna click on manual. Everything is looking perfect, and I'm gonna click OK and then tick to enable this mod. We're gonna close out of this one. We're gonna do the same for Tweak XL. Go to Files, download this. It says again that Red 4 EXT is a requirement. We already did this, so again we click on download, and it's present in our downloads folder. Tweak XL is a good name. We're gonna go with OK since everything is green, and tick to enable. And lastly, we're gonna go for Codeware. Gonna do exactly the same. Mod Manager Download. Again, it says red 4 exe is required. We already have this. Just click on download and double click manual. You will see if we click OK, everything is working just fine. So basically, what we want to do next is run the game and see if our mods are actually present. And a really easy way to determine that is if we go into the game and we are running it for the first time through Mod Organizer 2, we're going to see a prompt from Cyber Engine Twix that is asking us to create a keybind for itself. So let's go check that out. I'm going to click run. And as you can see here, it says CET first time setup. Please bind some key combination for toggling overlay. Combo can be composed up to 4 keys. So let me click on this, and I think I'm going to use shift and the equal sign. It says binding, as you can see, so shift and equal sign, and you can see that our Cyber Engine Twix console is here and present. It says it's launched through Mod Organizer 2. It says that the bindings we have for the overlay is shift and the equal sign, but basically this means that we've done our part of installing these mods correctly, and this is running fine. But a lot of people get confused by this, and I was very surprised when I was looking on YouTube and other resources on how to do this for Cyberpunk 2077, because I have a lot of experience of using Mod Organizer 2 for Skyrim Legendary Edition, Skyrim Special Edition, Anniversary Edition, whatever Skyrim, because I have been playing Skyrim since it came out until today. If you ask me to make a build of Skyrim and play, I will install, just like the last time we streamed this, over 1,200 mods. And by the way, we do stream Geeks 101 on Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. I try to stream as often as I can. So yeah, just join my stream. You can find the link in the description below, and we usually play games or do some art streams or tech streams. So anyway, I did have experience on what to do, and it has been very automated through Mod Organizer 2 through the years, what to do with the Overwrite folder. So you can see here, if you click on this like attention sign, it says there are files in your Overwrite mod directory, no guided fix. So if we double click on this, you will see there have been some files created here, right? And they have a lot of like log files, cache files. So a lot of people were confused, me included, on what to do with this, because as you can see, Cyber Engine Twix is here, the bindings are here, and everything else that was automatically created by this is here. So you might be asking yourself, where do I put these files? Because in the past, it would be very tedious. You had to recognize what mod created a specific output file, and you had to drag and drop each and every one of these files in their representing mods. But this is not the case anymore. It's extremely easy what you need to do, and I'm gonna demonstrate right now. You can right click on this, create a new mod, and usually I name this something like this for Cyberpunk 2077, which is cache, db, JSON, ini, and log files. I'm gonna click OK, and you'll see here that everything has moved in this folder, right? If we go into the file tree, like it will show you the text files, it will show you the ini files it has created, and if you go into the file tree, you'll see that it has created a mod, and it has moved everything in there. So what happens the next time? Do we create another mod? No, I'm gonna demonstrate it right now. We're gonna run the game again, so give it a second. Okay, we've run the game, and let me go in here and just click a couple of things. We're gonna quit the game, and you'll see that the Overwrite has created some stuff again. Maybe there's nothing in there, but the log file has been created, and you know, some other plugins have created log files. So what do we do with this? We right click, move content to mod, and I'm gonna click on the mod we just created, click OK, and everything just moves in there. Like the new log files and everything are just in here, as you can see by the timestamp. This is the new one we just created. So yeah, this is how you deal with the Overwrite folder. So let's find a cool mod to install. So for this mod as well, I will have a link in the description below. It's called Fast Launch Skip Intro Startup Videos. It's something that a lot of people want, because, you know, launching the game already takes some time, even if you're on an M.2 SSD just like me. But, you know, the whole intro videos and stuff take even more time, a lot longer actually. So if you can skip that, it's going to be a lot faster for you to go in and play your game. So as before, we go into the files section, we click on Mod Manager Download, and it says download started. And as you can see here, this is in our downloads tab. We're gonna double click on this, skip this, and it says here the content of Cyberpunk 2077 does not look valid. And the reason behind this is the README file. So if you want, you can open this, and it's gonna look something like this. It says extract and copy archive folder into your Cyberpunk game. So it's basically some instructions on how to install the mod manually, right? So we don't need this, and basically we can just untick this txt folder, because this is a folder that is creating the issue, right? It only recognizes these two folders, the archive and the bin folder, that have some content in them. But the txt file is something that it doesn't recognize. So we're gonna untick this, and as you can see here, the content of Cyberpunk 2077 looks valid and it's green now. The name is fine, I'll leave it as is. We're gonna click OK, and we're going to enable this mod. And if we run our game now, it's hopefully gonna be a lot faster, instead of having to watch through all the, you know, intro videos. Yeah, would you look at that? A lot faster. It worked like a charm. We're gonna quit the game. And again, you know, the drill by now. Just move content to a mod. We're gonna click cache dbJSON, click OK. And I would suggest to always have this mod at the very end of your mod list, and it overwrites any of the default INI and other files that are the original files and not the ones created by the system itself. So the next thing I want to show you is how to create categories in Mod Organizer tool. And believe me, if you have a large number of mods, this is a game changer. So let me demonstrate. You click on these like a screwdriver and wrench button over here, and you have several options. You can install mods and stuff. What we're looking for is create a separator. And for example, I'm going to create a separator called modders resources, and click OK. And it's this thing over here. I'm gonna move it to the top, because all these are modders resources, right? But this one is not. It's under miscellaneous, and this one is something else, right? So I'm gonna create two more of these. One of them is gonna be miscellaneous, and the other one I'm gonna name it other. Okay, so miscellaneous, I'm gonna put this under miscellaneous, and this one I'm gonna put it under other. So what I like to do is also switch between two colors. You can do it whatever way you want. So let's go with dark magenta and dark cyan here, and then dark magenta again. So I'm switching in between, you know, these two colors just to make it more clear where those categories are. So if you have a lot of mods, what you can do is just collapse all, and then you can just scroll through your categories and just, you know, click on the category you're interested in, and this makes a lot more sense in a mod list that is bigger. So let me show you my own personal setup of Mod Organizer 2. Okay, so this is my personal setup, and as you can see, everything is neat and tidy. But if I do expand all, you'll see we have 70 active mods over here, right? So everything is under its own category, and it's very easy to find something when I am looking for a specific mod. For example, if it's you know, a mod that affects gameplay, I'm gonna go here. If it's a mod that affects the visuals, I'm gonna go here, especially with my different LUTs and stuff. So everything is nice and tidy and very easy to navigate through. So yeah, basically this is it. You're now a Cyberpunk 2077 modding master with Mod Organizer 2. You know who to thank, right? So no more messy installs and no more broken games. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more modding guides and tutorials. Also, click on that bell to get all notifications. You can also follow me on my other socials that you can see down here, over here. It's getting hot. Let me know in the comments what mods you are excited to try, and happy modding, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.